Dyslexic genius here. What I'm going to talk about is a sonora governor or eccentric bearings for the governor. In the last video, I talked about checking everything, and this is how you do it. My angel will focus in. We put the bearings in, and I got the governor in. So on this is a speed control. I just take a shop towel, and I put it, now it's hitting the governor. You don't want it hitting the governor when you do this work. So now you have it in place. Now you can see that it slides back and forth and it rotates in. When I put the governor in like this, these two screws are out. What I do on this to make it much easier is I put 2 drops of oil down the hole so it goes in on the governor, because we had burrs on that in the last video. You can still see some burrs in here I've cleaned up. So now what you do is it just twists all over the place like that. See? So what you're going to do, you want the top of this gear right here to the center of that gear right there, the governor gear. So top and the center. What you have to do is you have to look at the teeth on this gear, spiral gear, and the teeth there. And then what you do is you rotate around. See how I can rotate that? But you want to rotate them both together. And you just give it a little. There we go. And just bring it down into the gear. So now you just give it a slight turn. And you go, okay, that feels good. And you check to make sure that this is straight across here. The shaft. We're looking at the shaft and the bearing and the end bearing. And you want to make sure that shaft this gear goes all the way straight across. And then you give it a little turn. You go, okay, that feels very good. And then we check a little side-to-side play. Now, because these screws have a 60-degree point in it that pushes into the bearing, we have to be very careful on this step. So we're just going to bring these screws down just so it grabs it. You'll feel it hit the bearing.
So not tight.
Not tight. And then you want to oil the end bearings. Give that a big drop. Give this a big drop. And you've oiled the spindle shaft, and then you go, perfect. So now it seems to be slowing down for some reason. So that might be it's too tight into the gear. So now what we're going to do is we're going to loosen this one a little. And we're going to loosen this one a little. And we're just going to bring it up a little bit.
What do you mean bring it up a little bit?
I've rotated it up back this way. This way it comes into the gear hard. So it seems to be hitting the governor drive gear on the spindle shaft here a little hard. So I rotated it up just a pinch. This is a light touch. That works better. Perfect. Now you tighten the 2 gears, you tighten these 2 screws down. Because you're never going to take the governor out again. Double check. Perfect. A little twist on the spindle shaft. Yeah. Nice and smooth. And that's how you adjust an eccentric bearing on a sonora. This works for all governors, you know, Victor's, Edison. Sometimes you got to turn them a little to make them just run right. But you always have to use the flex hone for inside the shaft, inside the casting. And you want to polish these out also. And I had a problem with this one. I thought I had it smooth enough. I put it in and it was still tight from that burr. I had to go back and do some more polishing out with that. I even hit it with a super fine worn out file and it popped right back in. But that's how you do this, and this will make your phonograph run way better than it did before you took it apart, and that's my tip for the day.